Your stated reason for being here
in this day is the day of the Lord.
Is to build some form of security. You're doing the exact opposite.
The only.
People are being hurt. Families are being torn apart. And long-term Houston residents that put so much into this city, into this economy, into this culture, they're being terrorized. They're being unalived. And that's on you. So I have a message from the community. And I have a message to ICE. Get the fuck out of Houston.
Mm-hmm.
Back to you, dope.
ICE raids crazy. ICE raids crazy. You seen them ICE raids lately. ICE raids crazy. They kidnap men and the ladies. ICE raids crazy. And separate them from they babies. ICE raids crazy. ICE raids crazy, tearing up dreams in the night, kicking down doors, flashing light, causing fright. Mama in the kitchen, baby crying in her arms. Agents storm in, yeah, they sounding their alarm. Who the real criminal when they snatching up the meek? Chains on the innocent, silence on the weak. They call it law, but I call it code abduction. Ripping souls apart, yeah, that's government corruption. Land of the free, man, that's a contradiction. Cause freedom got conditions in this twisted jurisdiction. White man came, took the land, drew borderlines. Now they calling Mexicans illegal, that's another crime. ICE raids crazy, kidnapping in broad daylight. Separating families, that's wrong, it ain't right. Cheers on the pavement, kids with no translation. America preach love, but they practice damnation. False news paint black and brown faces as a threat. But we the hardest workers, bleed sweat, living in debt. Building skyscrapers, mowing lawns and serving plates. The same ones they hate keep America great. It's hypocrisy with badges, patriot disguise. Call it national security, but it's genocide. Stolen land, stolen lives, stolen pride. The truth don't hide, it bleeds from the inside. ICE raids crazy. ICE raids crazy. You've seen them ICE raids lately. ICE raids crazy. They kidnap men and the ladies. ICE raids crazy. And separate them from they babies. ICE raids crazy. ICE raids crazy. Propaganda so sick. Fox News talking lies, playing politics. They say protect the border, but they guarding the ghost. From Tijuana to Texas, it's stolen land coast to coast. You can't deport the people from their native land when your racist flag flew in with a bloody hand. Cages and babies, what kind of nation is that? The cries echo loud, but they turning their backs. If the law is unjust, then justice ain't lawful. A badge on your chest don't make you Godful. They label them illegal, man, that word is obscene. Remember the first these were wigs and they called it the American dream. ICE raids crazy, it's a modern day lynch. History repeats, America don't flinch. Ripping roots from the ground, they call it immigration. It's really reincarnation of colonization. They say we all human, same blood, same beat, but they judge by the border and the color of your feet. No heart, no mercy, no ounce of grace. Just politics and fear in a racist face. From Rio Grande to the California coast, they hunting my people, good people, ghost of the ghost. Black and brown unity, we all grew up. If you don't like it, take your dog ass back to Europe. ICE raids crazy. ICE raids crazy. You've seen them ICE raids lately. ICE raids crazy. They kidnap men and the ladies. Separate them from they babies. ICE raids crazy. ICE raids crazy. ICE raids crazy. You've seen them ICE raids lately. ICE raids crazy. They kidnap men and the ladies. ICE raids crazy. And separate them from they babies. ICE raids crazy.
All right. Clap it up. All right, it's the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge. Started out at 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York, under Commanding General YAHANNA. It is Monday, the history class, where we break it down line upon line, precept upon precept, here a little, there a little, using external references to back up and support internally what is inside of the Bible. If you are on Facebook, make sure you go ahead and share the class. If you're on YouTube, go ahead and like, share, comment, and subscribe to ISUPK Houston, ISUPK Deep East Texas, ISUPK Galveston, ISUPK Beaumont, and Port Arthur. All right. So we've been teaching a series on what is an angel, right? But in lieu of what is coming up this upcoming weekend, dealing with Independence Day, I thought this would be a very important topic to go over. First thing I want to ask, what does independence mean? Can someone tell me what independence is, and give me the definition, please? What is independence? Oh, and if you have any questions on topic or off topic, type it in the chat. Like Captain Yatazaka always says, the only stupid question is the one that is not asked. So type your question in the chat if you have any. Matter of fact, do we have any questions inside? Go ahead. Oh, we hop in the list. Go ahead.
Salika, sir, if I may, can I get a general breakdown on the book of Ezekiel, the 4th chapter, the 12th and the 13th verse? And my question on here is, like, as we been in this captivity, like, is it just gonna be this way for like the food that we eat? Is the
So hold on. You said Ezekiel what?
Ezekiel chapter 4, verses 12 and 13.
12 and 13. Okay. Let's read it first and then ask your question.
Come, sir.
All right, go ahead.
This is the book of Ezekiel chapter 4 and verse 12. And say, and thou shalt eat it as barley, cakes, and thou shalt bake it with dung that cometh out of man in their sight. And the Lord said, even thus shall the children of Israel eat their defiled bread amongst the Gentiles, whether I will drive them. And my question is about that. Like, is it just how it's gonna be for us? Like the food we eat, is everything gonna be bad?
Bad in reference to what? So you're saying, like, all right, okay. When and what specifically are you talking about? Are you talking about while we're in our current captivity? Are you talking about when we go back into the wilderness? Like, what specifically is that question framed around?
Well, it's like it's framed in just a general sense. Because it's that they came up earlier. We was talking before class, and I was actually reading that last week, and just kind of reminded me to ask that question.
Okay. This is right hand. Okay, let's scroll up a bit. I want you to start reading. Moreover, take thee upon. All right, start. You're gonna have to walk it down a little bit. You're gonna have to start. Start at verse 4.
Verse 4. Come. This is the book of Ezekiel, chapter 4 and verse 4. Lie thou also upon thy left side, and lay the iniquity of the house of Israel upon it, according to the number of the days that thou shalt lie upon it, thou shalt bear their iniquity.
Okay, so this is the subject matter of this entire stanza. It's talking about the iniquity of the house of Israel, right? And bearing it, right? And what that entails. Okay. Keep reading.
Verse 4. For I have laid upon thee the years of their iniquity, according to the number of the days, 390 days. So shall thou bear the iniquity of the house of Israel.
Verse 6.
And when thou hast accomplished them, lie again on thy right side, and thou shalt bear the iniquity of the house of Judah 40 days. I have appointed thee each day for a year. Verse 7. Therefore thou shalt set thy face towards the siege of Jerusalem, and thine arm shall be uncovered, and thou shalt prophesy against it. Verse 8. And behold, I will lay bands upon thee, and thou shalt not turn thee from one side to another, till thou hast ended the days of thy siege.
Okay, so Jerusalem is being sacked, right? Because of the iniquity of the children of Israel, right? So he said that on the left side, you're going to lie on the left side for the iniquity of the house of Israel, the northern kingdom. According to the number of days I shall lie upon and bear their iniquity. And that number of days was 390 days, right? Because of the iniquity that they've done. And then 40 days for the amount of iniquity for the southern kingdom for Judah, right? So what you have to understand is all this is symbolic. So the Lord or the angel of the Lord is telling him to do this because each of those days represents a year that we were wicked and unfaithful to the Lord. Right? Keep reading.
Don't come verse 9. Take thou also unto thee wheat and barley and beans and lentils and millets and fishes, and put them in one vessel, and make thee bread thereof, according to the number of the days that thou shalt lie upon thy side. 390 days shalt thou eat thereof.
And this is where they get the recipe for Ezekiel bread. Right? Keep reading.
Verse 10. It's like verse
10.
It's like verse 10. And thy meat which thou shalt eat shall be by weight, 20 shekels a day. From time to time shalt thou eat it. Verse 11. Thou shalt drink also water by measure, the sixth part of a hin. From time to time shalt thou drink. Verse 12. And thou shalt eat it as barley cakes, and thou shalt bake it with dung that cometh out of a man in their sight. Verse 13. And the Lord said, even thus shall the children of Israel eat their defiled bread amongst the Gentiles, whether I will drive them.
Right. So this is specific, right? So this isn't about something that's about to happen. This is something that's already happened, right? And Ezekiel is carrying the burden of the nation of Israel. The Lord wants him to know the weight of the iniquity of sin, because how can you, being a priest, go out here and charge our people to change from their ways and you don't know the weight thereof, right? Something similar to this, I'm gonna use my wife as an example. She can't stand to eat the same thing past 3 days. For her, eating the same thing for a month is hell, right? This is three. What did it say? How many days did it say in total?
390.
Hold on. Let me scroll back up. Let's see. Yeah, 390 days shall he eat thereof, right? So somebody, let's see, 300 and somebody do 390 divided by 7. Somebody do that. 390 divided by 7. What you get?
You get 55.7.
So roughly a year. Because if you divide that, yeah, if you divide that by 4, hold on. Yeah, it's gonna give you roughly a year and a month, right? So for a year and a month, he's gonna have to eat this same thing over and over and over again, right? And for the majority part of that year, he's going to have to lay on one side of his body with his arm extended and then roll over on the other side, right? Now, what's going to end up happening is, you'll probably end up getting, cricks in your neck. You know what I'm saying? You'll probably get bruises on certain sides of your body, depending on how you laying. All of this is so that he can know the seriousness of the iniquity of the children of Israel and having to bear it. So this is the reason why he's having to eat these things day after day, week after week, right? This is not something that we have to do. This is something that a chosen priest and prophet of the Lord had to do, right? That he was ordered to do by an angel of the Lord. That's it. All right. Anything else?
No, it's like, sir, the water.
All right, no sweat. My man. All right. So back to what I asked. Does anybody have the definition of independence or independent? Go ahead.
Independence is getting.
You got the definition. Go ahead. No, go ahead. Tell what you about to say.
Independence is getting the sovereignty from another power or another nation.
Okay. All right. So yes. So independence is sovereignty, right? So okay, on the side of sovereignty, before he reads the definition, what does that mean?
What does sovereignty mean?
Mm-hmm.
Sovereignty is breaking away from like I said, from another power or another nation.
Well, that's independence, but what does you use the word sovereignty? What does that mean to you?
Sovereignty means freedom.
Okay, I'll take that. What you got for the physical definition of one, y'all?
Physical definition of independence.
Mm-hmm.
Independence is the state of being free from the control, influence, or support of others.
Mm-hmm.
It means having autonomy and self-reliance to make your own decisions, govern yourself, and take care of your own needs. Got 3 breakdowns.
Go ahead, please.
Okay. So we have a political independence. Political independence, this refers to a country or state that is sovereign and self-governing.
Okay, so that is the key part of sovereignty, self-governing, right? You have your own municipalities, you have your own utilities, you have your own infrastructure, right? And you're taking care of yourself without the help of another nation, right? You have your own medical system. You have your own lighting system. You have your own sewage, storm, and wastewater system. You have your own communication system. You have your own natural gas system, and it's not piped in and brought in from another nation, right? That's what it means to be independent, right? Okay. Now, in reference, to what we're going over, right? So when was okay, so 4th of July, right, is Independence Day. That's when the Declaration of Independence was signed, right? What physical day was that? Does anybody know? Go ahead.
It was, July 4th, 1776.
1776, right? When were the slaves freed?
In 1865.
1865, right? So that's almost what? Let's see, 1776 to 1860. That's almost 100 years later, right? So when the Declaration of Independence was wrote, you were not considered at all, right? So what I want Sapar, so I want you to hold this. You're going to be reading stanzas of the Declaration of Independence. So I want you to go on your phone and Google the Declaration of Independence while we're pulling scriptures to break this down, right? So we cannot say that we're free because we are dependent upon another nation. We are dependent on another nation for food, for water, to handle our trash, to handle our sewage, water, right? So we can't say that we're independent, right? A lot of people, shout out to Officer Bara Aya and Officer BLACKWATCH, give them brothers a hand, in Deep East Texas, right? The brothers from Houston, we came down and assisted them. Shout out to Officer Ron as well. And, we butchered chickens. You know what I'm saying? We culled 17 roosters, right? To feed the nation. Then also brought maybe about another 15 crates of eggs for people to eat, right? But most of you don't know how to put food on the table or how to process meat to put food on the table, right? Because we're so far separated. You like to eat chicken, but you don't know you don't know what it's like to take a life and to know how precious life is, that life is taken to give life. Right? You're so disconnected from it. You just think chicken is just something that you can go to Kentucky Fried Chicken, Church's, Popeyes, Fiesta, whatever grocery store that you go to, Walmart. You can just go there and say, hey, let me get some bras, some thighs, some breasts, and some wings. When you realize in order to get you a 10-piece wing, that means that 5 birds have to be unalived, right? In order for you to get 2 breasts and a drum, that's pretty. A whole chicken has to die for you to take pieces of it, right? So this is why it's so important for you to understand what true independence means. Everybody wants the freedom, but nobody wants to get their hands dirty to be free, right? So it doesn't matter whichever website I give you the Declaration of Independence. Do you have it, Sapar? I mean, if you want to read from there, that's fine. I just need you to read the first stanza and just hold it, and hold where you are, because we're gonna go line by line. Where it says, when in the course of human events. You got it? Yeah, I'm ready for you.
Come. That when the course when in the course of human events, it becomes necessary for one people to dissolve the political bands.
Say that one more time.
It becomes necessary for one people to dissolve the political bands which have connected them with another.
Right. So the first thing that you have to understand, and what's crazy is the Declaration of Independence is so righteous, right? It says the first thing that you have to do, it has become necessary for one people to dissolve political bands which have connected them with another. So in order for Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans to be independent, you have to dissolve your political bands with America, right? And to bring yourself under the political bands of the law, statutes, and commandments of your own government, which are the law, statutes, and commandments of the Most High God. One, y'all, if you could give me Revelations 18:4, please. Right? This is how you know that they got the Declaration of Independence from the Bible.
This is Revelation, book of Revelation, chapter 18, verse 4. It reads, "And I heard another voice from heaven saying, Come out of her, my people."
Say that one more time.
Come out of her, my people, that ye may not be partakers of her sins, and that ye receive not of her plagues.
So the only way that we don't partake in what's going on in America, what's happening to America, we have to come out of her. We have to dissolve our political bands with them, right? So much so, it's in the law. Give me Deuteronomy 12. Well, do this first. Let's go to Deuteronomy 7:1. Let's go there first, and then we'll go to Deuteronomy 12. Let me go there with you so they can follow along with you online. Deuteronomy 7:1. Because the Lord knew what it took for us to be sovereign, right? That is in the law. When you got Deuteronomy 7:1, go ahead and read it.
It's Deuteronomy, the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 7, verse 1. It reads, "When the Lord thy God shall bring thee into the land whither thou goest to possess it, and have cast out many nations before thee, the Hittites, and the Girgashites, and the Amorites, and the Canaanites, and the Perizzites, and the Hivites, and the Jebusites, 7 nations greater and mightier than thou."
Right. So when the Lord brings us into our land, right, the people that you cool with in your community, that service your community, the Arabs, the East Indians, the Vietnamese, the Koreans, the Chinese, the Japanese, I'm missing one. Oh, the white man and the Africans, right? These are all nations on paper that are greater than you, right? Keep reading. Verse 2. You're going to read all the way down to 5.
Verse 2. "And when the Lord thy God shall deliver them before thee, thou shalt smite them."
Befriend them.
Smite them.
Befriend them.
Smite them.
Because you have to understand, in order to dissolve political bands with certain nations just not going to be like, okay, we can separate. No, because they're making too much money off of you. So in some cases, in order to free yourself from certain nations, it's going to take physical conflict. It's the first thing that you have to understand, right? Smite means to strike down, right? Keep reading.
Verse 3. Neither shalt thou make marriages.
You ain't
Oh,
finished.
no. I'm
Verse 2, shall smite them.
And utterly destroy them.
Mm-hmm.
Thou shalt make no covenant with them, nor show mercy unto them.
So first it says smite them, then utterly destroy them, because you cannot be at peace within your borders when you have enemies behind your lines. It's impossible, right? Like when you go to Chinatown, right? You don't see any black businesses in Chinatown. You don't see any Hispanic Latino businesses in Chinatown. Same thing in Little Italy or Little Arabia, right? Or Little Russia, or Bollywood, right? In all these little nooks and crannies in their areas, you don't see no other nations shops or businesses set up in their area, because they understand in their community, in order for the dollar to circulate, it has to be with your own people. Even their banks are run and owned by their people, right? Their credit unions are set up and run by their people. Their grocery, I mean, hell, Chinatown, they got their own versions of Sam's. And Restaurant Depot is actually way better than Restaurant Depot and Sam's. You know what I'm saying? Right, exactly. And then the street signs are in Chinese. That lets you know that they're independent within their dwelling. Those grocery stores and stuff that they have, they're not getting that from farms around here. It's getting shipped to them through barges through the Houston Ship Channel, right? They have their own food pipeline and food infrastructure, right? Go ahead.
Just to say something, along with the streets, when you go into Chinatown and go like into Bollywood or go to their stores, they don't take the time to have those packages written in English. You got to figure that out.
You got to figure it out.
So you going in there, but they're not catering to you. They catering to their people. You just have to be giving them money and buying stuff from them.
Absolutely. Go ahead, Sapar. What you got?
And so like, the crazy part of about it, how they get the help from the government and have all these operations. I just hate that if we want to do that and try it, it's racist to them of us coming together to help our own people to circulate the dollar within our own community. I just find that to be hypocritical from the other nations.
So because the reason for that is because too many nations eat off of your nation. That's why it's racist. It's not racist for them because their infrastructure is insulated within their community and they eat off of your community. So if we do something like that, it's racist. Like if we went to every corner store and we put picking up signs, we're not buying gas from here. You know what I'm saying? To the point to where they go out of business and then we buy that property, right? That is considered racist to them because it's our people, blacks and Hispanics, rallying up against an Arab or East Indian that's running a corner store, or an Asian or an Arab or East Indian running a liquor store, or an Arab and an East Indian running the chicken spots. See, if you really want to invoke change, right, we would get a coalition, right, to get an infrastructure of black farmers. You understand? A list, right? And we would buy strictly from them. We would starve out all of the grocery stores in our communities, all of the fried chicken spots in our communities, all of the beauty supplies, all of that in our communities for about 3 months. In 3 months, majority of those businesses will go belly up. And they're going to have to sell the business because most businesses run month to month like you live check to check, right? And they cannot go 3 months, 4 months without receiving any income coming in. They'll end up having to shut down, right? COVID showed us that a lot of businesses shut down and did not reopen doors, right? Because they could not take the time of being shut down like that, right? You know, that's why DoorDash and all and Uber Eats and Grubhub were booming, because they had to keep their infrastructure going. But just like it says that you are to smite them and to utterly destroy them. Now, you can't outgun someone that makes guns, right? But the way you smite them today and you destroy them today is financially, right? And it says, do not make any covenants with them. That's what it's talking about in the first part of the Declaration of Independence. You have to dissolve the political bands that you have with these other nations, right? They think that it's okay for them to be in your communities because you allow it. They don't allow you to be in their communities, right? And just like Sapar said, the moment that you stand up for your community, now it's a problem, right? They'd be like, well, we've been servicing the Black community for over 20 years. No, you've been robbing the Black community of our Black dollar. You've been robbing the Hispanic community of our Hispanic dollar. You've been robbing the Native American community of their Native American dollar. And the reason why I know it to be so, when me and my wife, when we went to Jamaica, the same people that run the convenience stores here in America see if it's back up. Does it show it still say live on my end? No, it says live. You know what I'm saying? Wait, see if it comes back up. You know what I'm saying? If you see my face, because it got me in here. Hold on. There's a possibility to go off and still be on. Mm-hmm. Okay. Hey, put a one in the chat if you can hear and if you can see. It's back up. All right. So look, computer died. You know what I'm saying? But we gonna keep rolling. right, until the computer power back up. All right, so just bear with me. Right, it's gonna switch back over here in a second. All right. So where did I leave off, Salaki? Oh yeah. So the way that you know that it's the exact same situation, right, is because when you leave Jamaica, when you leave America and you go to Jamaica, the same people that's running these governments and these corner stores and all of these chicken spots, these Wendy's and all of this stuff, right? It's the same thing over there, right? The East Indians that's running Dunkin' Donuts here is running it in the Caribbean, right? It's running it in the UK. It's running it in Canada because it's a racket, right? So you have to understand this, right? So it says make no covenants with them because you have to dissolve the bands of government, right? You got to dissolve your political bands with the other nations, right? Now, keep reading.
We're in verse 3.
Mm-hmm.
Deuteronomy chapter 7, verse 3 reads, neither shalt thou make marriages with them.
Mm-hmm.
Thy daughter thou shalt not give unto his son,
Right.
nor his daughter shalt thou take unto thy son.
Now, this is another huge part because the original aristocracy or aristocrat way of developing political bands was through marriage, right? The way that we would our treaty of war between one another. I would give my daughter to your son, or you would give your daughter to my son, and they would wed in holy matrimony, and then that would be a covenant between your kingdom and my kingdom, right? We have to dissolve the political bands between the nations, right? Don't date no Arabs. Don't date no East Indians, right? Don't date no white people. Don't date no Africans, right? Because in doing that, you're adding political bands to our nation. Go ahead.
I was about to ask that question. So in a marriage with other nations, it's considered to be political bands?
Yes. And this is how you know that it's political bands, right? Because when like let's say for instance you're married to a white woman. Anytime black people start talking about white people, even if you know it's right, you can't say it's right because you're married to white people, right? You have children with white people. Right. If you're married to a Korean woman or a Taiwanese woman or a Chinese woman, when we start going on talking about how the Asian community is treating black people in these convenience stores and these chicken spots and these liquor stores, like that child that just got murdered because he was accused of stealing a bottle of water that he didn't steal. Right. You can't talk on those topics. You want to know why? Because you're married and you have children with the enemy. Sure. That is a political ban. Go ahead, one y'all.
And also when you marry, okay, when you marry within our home, we be within our own Israelite nation. When someone dies, that's the head of the household, like the father or the mother,
Mm-hmm.
the siblings and so forth, relatives, they fight over what's theirs and what's not theirs. You know, they want to get this and want to get that. Imagine when you are with another nation.
Right.
And you have basketball players, football players, movie stars, that depletes us trying to grow generational wealth. Because when that man dies or whatever, then that white woman take all that money and she's gonna do what she wants to and teach that child how they want to teach it. So all that man's wealth and all that teaching to that child was all for nothing.
Right. Right. So you cannot, I repeat, you cannot join with these other nations, because when you join with these other nations, you are inevitably destroying your nation. You can't do it. You understand? and you're taking away hope from your people. You understand? Now, give me what I asked for. Oh, hold on. Let me double check. Yeah, go ahead. Let me pull it back up for him on the screen.
It's Deuteronomy chapter 7, verses 4 and 5. Verse 4. For they will turn away thy son from following me, that they may serve other gods.
Right. Okay. So now, because now that you have political bans through marriages and covenants, well, you know, we're good people. You love our people. So just like you love us, you might love our God. Right. And then now, not only have you turned your back on your people, your women, your men, right? Now you've turned your back on your God, which is inevitably the condition that we're in right now. When you go in every church, I don't care if it's a black church, Chinese church, white church, you're going to see a picture of your oppressor as your God. Nowhere in the world, even when you go over there to Beijing and all that, if they Christians, Christ up there on the cross, he Chinese. You go to Taiwan, he Taiwanese. You know what I'm saying? But for us, they give us the picture of our oppressor. Because when you close your eyes and you envision a white Jesus as your savior, if Jesus is white, his daddy got to be white. The angels got to be white. So everything that you looking for salvation and for your quote unquote independence, it has to come from white. You understand? You've been whitewashed. But the Declaration of Independence literally tells us how to build our nation. Now, go what I asked for, Deuteronomy 12. It's fine. Let's go to Deuteronomy 12. And start at verse 29. Scroll down so they can read with you. I'm sorry, not 29. Hold on. Is it? Let's see. Thou shalt not. Hold on. No, it's in Deuteronomy 12. Do not go after gosh. Deuteronomy 12. Where's it started? Oh, Deuteronomy started verse start at verse 2. Yeah, start at Deuteronomy 12 and 2.
It's the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 12, verse 2.
You know what? Bump it. We just gonna go. Just drop down to 29. That's fine.
So go from 2 to 29, or just start at 29.
Start at 29, 12 and 29, and we're gonna read to 32.
Deuteronomy chapter 12, verses 29 through 32, and they read. Get on 29. When the Lord thy God shall cut off the nations from before thee.
So that's another thing. You have to cut off the other nations. You can't be in agreement with other nations. You have to cut them off, because that is the only way that you're going to get independence, right? We are overdosing on complacency of convenience. You enjoy the convenience of going to Pizza Hut, the convenience of going to Burger King, the convenience of going to Taco Bell, the convenience of just being able to go to the grocery store, right? You don't know what it is to work for your food. When's the last time you've been fishing? When's the last time, like our brothers did this weekend, did you go and you defeather and cull roosters to eat? You understand? When's the last time you slaughtered a bull? right? Because you think you love brisket. Do you know how to cut it out? You love ribs, you love sausage, you love ground beef, you love top sirloins. I mean, shoot, me and baby for our anniversary, we went to this Brazilian spot, and they just coming around with skewers. Would you like some lamb chops? Would you like some top sirloin? Would you like some filet mignon? Would you like some Parmesan chicken? Would you like some spicy sirloin? Would you like a tri-tip cut, sir? They're just walking around with them on skewers. What would you like it? Rare, medium well? Would you like it well done? Now imagine how many animals had to be slaughtered in order for everyone to just have round table of different cuts of meat coming out just back to back to back to back. You want to eat a salad. When's the last time you grew a head of lettuce? That's the easiest thing for you to grow. If you don't know how, just go buy your head of lettuce, cut the head off, leave the stalk, plant it into the ground, you get another head of lettuce. You can just do that over and over and over and over. Same thing with green onions. If you buy a stock of green onions, you can just cut the top part off down to the white, plant that white part down, and you got endless green onions. Instead of just going to the grocery store. You can't say, well, I got an apartment. Buy you a hydroponic system. Buy you a aromatic system. They have different systems that you can buy in order for you to have vegetation and for you to supply yourself and your family so you don't die. But we have to cut off the other nations in order to have our independence. Mm-hmm. We're just reading the Declaration of Independence. Ain't that right, Sapar? Keep reading.
The scripture or?
No, the scripture.
Okay.
You're going to read 32.
All right, drop down to 32? Oh, to 32, okay.
Right.
Whither thou goest to possess them, and thou succeeded them, and dwelleth in their land. Verse 30. Take heed to thyself, that thou be not snared by following them. After that they be destroyed before thee, and that thou inquire not after their gods, saying.
So now, not only do you have to dissolve the political bonds, you have to not seek after their gods. So that means if we're cutting off the Arabs, we can't be seeking after Islam. If we're cutting off the Asians, we can't seek after Buddhism.
Right.
If we're cutting off the Africans, we can't seek after Santeria, Ifa, Voodoo. Right? So all these nations that we're cutting off, you have to make sure that you cut off their gods. If they have monuments erected to them, you knock them down. If they have temples set up to them, you knock them down. Right? Keep reading.
And that thou inquire not after their gods, saying, how did these nations serve their gods? Even so will I do likewise. Verse 31. Thou shalt not do so unto the Lord thy God, for every abomination to the Lord which he hateth have they done unto their gods.
Right.
For even their sons and their daughters they have burnt in the fire to their gods.
Right. So in order for us to thrive, you have to cut off all contact with the other nations. What that's going to do is, all right, we didn't cut off the oppressor. How we gonna get water?
Right.
All right, we didn't cut off the oppressor. How we gonna deal with our waste, our sewage? We didn't cut off the oppressor. How we gonna deal with lights? We didn't cut off our oppressor. How we gonna deal with gas and creating fire? Right? We didn't cut off our oppressor. How are we gonna communicate with one another? Right? this is how we should be. This is how we should have been thinking the whole time, all along. Right? Why like we want to be rappers, we want to be entertainers, we want to be athletes and things of that nature. Okay, if you want to do that, why can't 3 or 4 huge entertainers and athletes come together, right? And we have our own communications network.
Right.
Why do we have to use another nation's network to communicate with one another? Right? Like, y'all don't even realize you've made Ring the #1 NSA tool in America, really in the world. They have eyes. Basically, they feel like they're God. They're omniscient. They're omnipresent, right? Ring has a community watch, community watch app. Like when you get the Ring doorbell, it gives you access to your community so you can see what's going on in your community, right? But they have access to the entire world, to the point to where the NSA, the CIA, the DEA, the FBI, right? The Mossad, MI6, right? They have contracts with Ring in order to look at what's going on in residence. If they have a suspect, if they have a warrant, it's almost impossible for you to get away with a crime, because if a street light don't catch you, a business camera will. If a business camera don't catch you, somebody at an event cell phone will. If somebody's cell phone don't, a Ring camera will. Right? Whole time. Right? You had your hand up, Sapar?
And it comes, and it's like it, because that's heavy what you said. Like when the guy that shot Charlie Kirk, like if there was like a few years past, even it's in the early 2000s, they would have took a while to find who it was who actually shot Charlie Kirk.
Brother, by the end of the day, they had every single angle up on all news and media platforms. You understand? They had every single angle up, not the angle that the media wanted to show you. They had all the angles from everybody that was recording live. People uploading their own footage, stuff that's not doctored from the media, right? So we have to be able to control our narrative. We should have our own media platform. We should have our own internet infrastructure, our own communications, everything. This is what it means to be independent, right? This is why none of the other nations take us seriously, because we haven't even provided food for ourselves, right? Now, Sapar, let's go back to the Declaration of Independence. I want you to read the next stanza. Let me pull it back up online for him. All right. Okay, so you left off. All right. Where it says, for one people to dissolve the political bands which have connected them to another. Read the next stanza after that.
Come. And to assume among the powers of the earth, to the separate and equal station, to which the laws of nature and of nature's God entitled them. Okay,
now it's saying, and to assume among the powers of the earth the separate and equal station, right? Now let's find out if that's what Lord would have for us if we were a separate, independent nation. Let's go to Deuteronomy 28:1. Because the law, statutes, and commandments, the Torah, is our declaration of independence. But if you don't uphold to it, you won't get what it says that it's going to deliver to you. So let's go to Deuteronomy 28-1. So now they would say, according to the Declaration of Independence, and to assume among the powers of the earth, right? So to come amongst the other nations, right? To be like Russia, to be like Germany, to be like France, be like Italy, be like Kenya, South Africa, Indonesia, Nigeria, Sudan, right? All the nations upon the face of the earth, and it says the separate and equal station. But let's see if that's what the Lord would have for you. Read Deuteronomy 28-1.
This is Deuteronomy, a book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28, verse 1 from the top.
Mm-hmm.
And it shall come to pass, if thou shalt hearken diligently unto the voice of the Lord thy God, to observe and to do all his commandments, which
right? This is your Declaration of Independence. You have to observe. You have to listen, observe, and do everything that's in the Torah, the first 5 books of the Bible, right? And let's find out what happens when you do that. Go ahead.
To observe and to do all his commandments, which I command thee this day, that the Lord thy God will set thee on high above all nations of the earth.
Wait, hold on. Let me read the Declaration of Independence.
Read.
The Declaration of Independence says, and to assume among the powers of the earth the separate and equal station. What does this say in Deuteronomy 28-1?
Thy God will set thee on high above all nations of the earth.
Right? We're not meant. Let's just remove this mystery from everyone's mind. There is no equality upon the face of the earth.
Right.
There's no equality in anything. There's no equality in academics. There's no equality in sports. There's no equality in music. There's no equality in technology. There's no equality in science. There's no equality in the sea world. There's no equality in the Amazon. There's no equality in the jungle. You understand? There's no equality in the Serengeti. Nowhere on the face of this earth, in any walk of life. I don't care if you're going from the microcosm to the macrocosm. There's no equality.
Right.
But there is balance. Right? And that balance comes from everyone playing their part. Right? A hookworm has its job. Just like an amoeba does, just like a shrimp does, just like a roach does, a crab, an ant, a caterpillar, a praying mantis. Everybody that is created upon the face of this earth has a job. Those jobs are not equal.
Right.
Right? Go ahead.
So is it safe to say, can we put the word equality like in the category of the words that the media use, like transphobic and just words like that, like xenophobic, like all these words that they made up?
Equality it's a mental disorder. There's nothing equal. There's balance. There's not equality. I can't do what a woman does, and a woman can't do what I do. Right? Like, you know, they always be talking about fight for women's rights and things of this nature and women's workplace equality. Well, why aren't women fighting to be equality on the construction site? I don't see no women out there on the construction site. I don't see equality in with men and women plumbers. I don't see equality with men and women welders. Why isn't there? Why aren't women fighting for those jobs?
Right.
Why aren't women fighting to do landscaping?
Right.
Right. I don't see equality in men and women when it comes to mechanics.
Right.
Right. I don't see equality when it comes to men and women HVAC techs. Why is that?
Right.
Right?
Just like morticians.
Right.
Like
I don't see that. Right. I don't see a high equality rate for morticians or the people that work in the morgue, right? Dealing with the dead and the dead bodies. I don't even see equality when it comes to graveyard groundskeeping, right? Or putting people in the ground. Go ahead, one y'all.
Yeah, just real quick, and they've made our people think that it's equality, not to go at women. Just saying, this is an example. A woman can ride in a car and then pull up to her house and go inside of her house and say to herself, I don't need a man. But the car you rode in and the house you living in is built by men.
Listen, let me tell you something. A woman needs a man just like a man needs a woman. Right? Because if we just being honest, men, we like kids, but we don't like dealing with kids. It especially from the moment they come out the womb until like 5. You know, when they get to 5, we all hands on. You know, but the tender, delicate care and nurturing side and wilding, we hate that part. Right? You need a woman for that. Right? Just like she needs you when you hear that bump in the middle of the night to go downstairs and to see about it. Right? If you think you don't need a man, just and I pray this doesn't happen to you. Be asleep and hear somebody break in your house. At that moment, you're gonna wish you had a man. Right? When your car breaks down on the side of the road, can you change your tire? Absolutely. Do you want to change your tire? Absolutely not. Right? When you start hearing ticking and clicking and all of that going on with your car, and you want to make sure you're not getting taken advantage of by a mechanic, gonna wish you had a man. Right? When you watching TV and then all of a sudden you just start getting a drip from the ceiling, you're gonna wish you had a man. Yeah. There are things that a man is good for, just like there are things that a woman is good for. Right. Go ahead, one y'all.
So this is 1 Corinthians chapter 11, verse 11.
Mm-hmm.
Nevertheless, neither is the man without the woman, neither the woman without the man.
Right.
In the Lord.
Right. And Sis Kanawa online, she said, yeah, I don't need to be equal, laugh out loud. That's hard labor. I'll pass. like we are made for certain roles, right? We are not equal, but we are balanced. Right. And when I don't tread into your department and you don't tread into my department, and we've established what our roles are, we're going to roll like a well-oiled gear, right? Just moving, right? What you was about to say, Sapar?
Just like you say, ain't nothing equal or equality. Like the man and the woman, it brings together a balance.
Right. You know what I'm saying? So now, give me, you know what I want? Give me Amos 3:1. Yeah, give me Amos 3:1. Let me pull it up on the screen for him.
This is Amos, the book of Amos, chapter 3, from the top.
Mm-hmm.
Hear the word that the Lord hath spoken against you, O children of Israel, against the whole family which I brought up from the land of Egypt, saying, verse 2, you only have I known of all the families of the earth. Therefore, I will punish you for all of your iniquity. Verse 3, can two walk together except they be agreed?
we do not agree with no other nation. We don't agree with their food. We don't agree with their politics. You understand? We don't agree with their music, with their entertainment. We don't agree with it, right? We enjoy what we do, right? So why are you trying to be in agreement and covenant and equal with these other nations when the Lord said he's only known you of all the families of the face of the earth? And because of that, that is why we have gone through what we've gone through as Hispanics, Native Americans, and so-called African Americans on this side of the pond, or so-called blacks, right? When you realize that, why do we feel that we need these other nations? Why do we feel that we need these other infrastructures, right? It takes one Google search to look up black farmers in Texas, or black farmers in Louisiana, black farmers in Mississippi, black farmers in Florida, in the Midwest, on the West Coast, on the East Coast. You know what I'm saying? Or if you're in the UK, or if you're in the Caribbeans, or if you're in South Central or Mesoamerica, right? Or in Mexico, or in Canada. Just one quick Google search. That's all it takes, right? And you create your own food pipeline. And before you know it, you be like, dang, I done all this for myself. I might as well open a grocery store. Now you get with a brother that you know, we got plenty of brothers with CDLs. Now you circulating business between you, the black farmer, and the transportation company. Now that's 3 families getting fed, right? So that's 3 infrastructures that's being fulfilled, and then we just grow from that base. Now your grocery store gonna blow up because all of the black-owned restaurants in whatever surrounding metropolitan area, they coming straight to you for sourcing, right? Which now it ain't gone from a $1 gross and surplus. You know what I'm saying? Now it's a franchise chain. Now you got 2 of them. Now you got 3 of them, right? Because you got to open up these infrastructures to service the people on all sides of town, so we have convenience. But the convenience is within our own people, not the other nations. And we got to have the same mindset of our distant ancestors doing this, not so distant ancestors during the 60s when they had the bus boycott. They shut the white bus lines down. Now there are no more black bus lines. There are no more black trolley and train stations anymore. Go ahead, one y'all.
So and what you're just saying, I wonder if that's because we're lazy or that's got something to do with racism. But anyway, that's not my question. My statement is, once we get that assembly line of autonomy going, then we since we want to follow other nations, then we follow this what other nations do. They can come in our stores and buy and be welcome to do everything.
Right.
They're gonna have to learn Hebrew. I'm just kidding, because that's what it's gonna be printed in. And we don't let them in the business side the same way that they don't let us in the business side.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely. Go ahead, Sapar.
And it's like, so I was just about to say that too, because you know, like whenever you go to, like, what's that store, Watkins, right? Because I remember going back in the day, it was just black. Now when you go in there, you got Chinese people inside the meat department and this and that. It just like we said earlier, if you was trying to get a job at one of their businesses, I mean, that's not the case. But yet, you know, we gotta let them in because of the laws they passed. Because they say we be discriminating against other people if there's not a certain amount of people working at a black business.
Right. So, but this is how you do it. You do it like they do it, right? Oh, well, why don't you have any white? This person wasn't qualified. You know, we're not about race here. We're all about qualifications. You know, and the person that applied, they just weren't a good fit for the company. He was overqualified. He had a master's degree. You know, we just needed a store manager. The store manager doesn't need to have a master's degree, right? You know, this job is beneath him, right? Isn't that how they do us? Right? Overqualified, right? But you like, I watched a YouTube like reel or short, and a guy just overheard a conversation between two white women in a coffee shop, right? And how she got her friend on at this tech end job, and she doesn't know anything about the industry. This is what they do. They start a business and get a couple of people in, and those friends get their friends on, and those friends get their friends on, right? Because what they know is what we don't know, is that every job trains you for the position that they want you to do. All the degree shows is that you're able to focus and get something done and accomplish it. That's all it shows, is that you're capable of taking on difficult tasks, achieving it, and knocking out the goal. And at a certain achievement rate and percentile. That's all that means, right? Because would you want somebody drawing your blood? They got a C in biology? Absolutely not. You know what I'm saying? Would you want a heart surgeon or any type of surgeon or anesthesiologist working on you that got a C in biology? Absolutely not. That's all that means, right? Now, go to the next stanza, Sapar. You ended at let me pull it up for them so they can read along with you. The last stanza you stopped at was the separate and equal station which the laws in nature's God entitled them. Hold on, let me pull the declaration back up for them. Go ahead.
A decent respect to the opinions of mankind required that they should declare the causes which impel them to the separation.
Say that one more time.
A decent respect to opinions of mankind requires that they should declare the causes which impel them to the separation.
Why haven't we? Everybody knows, all blacks and Hispanics and Native Americans knows that we should separate. Knows that we were way better off when we were separated. The Declaration of Independence says a decent respect to the opinions of mankind requires that they should declare the causes which impel them to the separation. Let's go to Leviticus 20 and 26 and see what the Bible says that impels us to separate. Let me go to the scriptures, Leviticus 20, 26. Hold on, 20. Pass it up. Boom. All right, let me pull it up on the screen for them to read along with you. Replace. Boom. All right, when you got it, go ahead and read it. 20 and 26.
This is Leviticus chapter 20, verse 26.
Mm-hmm.
Reads, and ye shall be holy unto me.
What does holy mean? It's Kodash in the Hebrew. What does that mean?
Set apart.
It means to be separate.
Separate, set apart.
Right? So from the beginning, we weren't meant to be equal or hand in hand with any of these other nations. We were meant to be separate, right? So it says, and ye shall be holy unto me. So the Lord is saying, you shall be separate from all other nations unto me. Because remember, he says, of all the families of the earth, you only have I known. Keep reading.
For I, the Lord, am holy, and I have severed you from other people, that ye should be mine.
So the scriptures already said that we are separate from other people and that we belong to the Lord. Why are we trying to join with them? Why are we trying to share infrastructures with them? Why are we not trying to build our own infrastructure? We do all the work to maintain and build all the infrastructures. We run all, we work all of the transportation. We set all of the communication lines, all of the power lines, all of the sewage, water, wastewater systems. So you mean to tell me that we can't do this on our own? That we can't build our own aquifers and aqueducts? What you got, Sapar? Salaki, I saw your hand up.
And that's raises like another question, like why are all our so-called political leaders always want to do business and like we said earlier, political bans with all these other nations?
It's real simple, Sapar. It's because they get a check. That's why. Like somebody look up on Google when the African American community started the boycott for Target. Somebody look that up for me. Somebody look that up, when the boycott in the African American community started against Target, the store. Somebody look that up.
Say it again.
Somebody look up on Google when the boycott in the African American community started against Target. Okay, so it started in 2025. Somebody look up. I think it started before 2025.
It said,
I want to say it started like in 2024 because it was for a minute. It wasn't just a year. Yeah, it started doing the DI.
2020.
Yeah, that sounds about right. Okay, now look up when the boycott in the African American community against Target stopped.
The nationwide boycott against Target, initiated by Black faith civil rights leaders in early 2025, has officially ended for organizers, though the movement remained divided. I'm trying to find the date.
When was
March,
that? Go ahead.
March 11th, 2026.
Okay, so now when you look up when that happened, it wasn't something that we came together and said. It was a Black minister that received a check, Pastor Jamal Bryant, from Target. You understand? He received a check to his church for him to say, all right, y'all, now they've learned their lesson. You know, now he received a payout of $2 million. You understand? You said what? $2 billion. You understand? For infrastructure and all of this, quote unquote, to the African American community, right? They supposed to pay $2 billion in scholarships and all of this stuff, right? He's like, well, y'all, you know, we gonna uplift the band. Now, you have to ask yourself, if they're willing to pay you $2 billion, how much money are they making off of you? You understand? Because when you go in Target, I mean, we keeping it real, you know, Target ain't really all of that. You understand? They don't necessarily have everything you need. You understand? When you go in there, it always smell like stale popcorn. You know what I'm saying? You feel me? You know, you were going there to support certain brands and to get home products, right? But from 2020 to 2026, they took such an economic hit. It's like, we got to do something to get them back into the stores, because every year we have $1 trillion buying power. You understand? Now, give me my next precept in the Apocrypha. Give me Ecclesiasticus chapter 6 in verse 13.
This is the Apocrypha, Ecclesiasticus chapter 6, verse 13. Reads, separate thyself from thine enemies and take heed of thy friends.
Right? So we know, based off of recent court cases, that the Asians are not our friends. We've known from recent, I mean, we don't even got to look at recent court cases. We can look at history and know that the white community is not our friend, right? We can look at history and know that the African community is not our friend. We can look at history and know that the Arab community, the East Indian community, is not our friend. So the scripture says that we are to separate from them. Right? Now, give me the same book. Give me 7 and 1.
This is Ecclesiasticus in the Apocrypha, chapter 7 from the top. Do no evil, so shall no harm come unto thee.
Right. So we wouldn't have to worry about the evil that's happening in our community if we would just be a just and upright people. When Christopher Columbus came to America, he said that these were such a pure and tranquil people that they would make good slaves. We didn't have to worry about nothing because we were a righteous, tranquil people. We have to get back to that. But it starts first with the mind. You have to remove your political bands mentally. And the way that you smite them and you destroy them is financially, because you can't outgun a gunsmith. You can't. So going out here, going to war with bullets and guns, the pen is way more powerful than the sword. That's why Target came crumbling to their knees to beg the black community to come and spend their black dollars with them. You want to go to war, you go to war with economics. A small axe can cut down a big tree. All you got to do is just do this. Just be steady with it. Be consistent with it. Now it's 2 people. Now it's 3 people. Now it's 4 people. Now it's 5 people. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Now y'all, and the number just grows. But you have to be consistent with the action. A slow drip will put a hole through a stone. Do you know that?
Yeah, absolutely.
A slow drip over time would put a hole through a stone. We got to be that drip.
Well,
And the drip can be so slow that they won't even notice it. See, you want to go for the big wells. No, just get a little cut every here and there. You understand? Just cut little holes in the pocket. And soon enough, all the change in dollars is going to fall through. You just got to be consistent in your cuts. Every day with the same common goal. And before you know it, that $100 here, $200 here, $300 here, $400 here, $50 here, it starts compounding over time. White people know about compounding interest.
Yes.
You understand? Exactly. You so busy trying to get the million when they know if they put at least $300 to $400 in a Roth RIA for 30 years, going on the S&P 500, you'll be a millionaire. Because of compounded interest. And when you die, you can just leave that to your son, and the account just keeps compounding interest. But we have to separate from these nations and create our own infrastructure.
Yep.
Right? Give me we had 49. All right, Sapar, let's go to the next stanza where after it says which impel them to separation.
Come. That we hold these truths to be self-evident.
Mm-hmm.
That all men are created equal.
It said what? All men are what?
That all men are created equal.
Well, we've already read it, but we're gonna go back to it real quick. Go to Deuteronomy 7. Let's go to 9 and 14. I mean Deuteronomy 7, you're gonna read 9 through 14. Let's find out if, we already know from Deuteronomy 28 and 1 that all men aren't created equal. We already know from Amos 3 and 1 that all the families on the earth are not equal, right? So let's read this. Deuteronomy 7, and you're going to start at verse 9. You got to go ahead and read it. The one y'all, you got it?
Which one is it?
Deuteronomy chapter 7.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
Chapter 7, pick up where we left off?
No, verse 9.
Okay. Deuteronomy chapter, the book of Deuteronomy chapter 7, verse 9.
Mm-hmm.
Know therefore that the Lord thy God, he is God,
mm-hmm.
the faithful God,
mm-hmm.
which keepeth covenant and mercy with them that love him
mm-hmm.
and keep his commandments to 1,000 generations.
All we have to do is turn back to our Declaration of Independence, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it says for 1,000 generations. He said until heaven and earth pass away, not one jot, not one tittle shall in no wise pass for the law. And the law was given to blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. Keep reading.
Verse 10. And repayeth them that hate him to their face,
mm-hmm.
to destroy them.
Mm-hmm.
He will not be slack to him that hateth him.
Mm-hmm.
He will repay him to his face.
You understand? Those that hate the Lord hate his children. So you don't think when we turn and repent to our God and take on our declaration and do what's needed and dissolve the bands of government and agreement with these other nations, that the Lord is not going to destroy them to their face?
Right.
In every fight, we didn't really have to throw a punch. The nations were given into our hand. Goliath's head was delivered into David's hand. The Philistines were delivered into the hands of Samson. Same thing with Gideon in the 300. Same thing with Joshua in Jericho. All we got to do is be righteous. Keep reading. Verse 11.
Verse 11. Thou shalt keep therefore, thou shalt therefore keep the commandments and the statutes and the judgments which I command thee this day to do them. Verse 12. Wherefore it shall come to pass, if ye hearken to these judgments and keep and do them, that the Lord thy God shall keep unto thee the covenant and the mercy which he sware unto thy fathers.
This is all you got to do. The Lord is waiting on us. People like, well, we got to wait for Jesus to come back. Do you not know the parables?
Right.
Like the parables of those with the talents.
Right.
Right. He's the one that buried his talent. He said that I know that you are an austere man. Right. You know what I'm saying? Sowing where you did not reap. Yeah. And then the Lord said, if you knew that I was this type of man, if you would have just invested your talent in the bank, it would have gained interest and you would have had something to present something to me. He called him a wicked servant and cast him into prison and then gave his talent to the one that had 10. All you got to do is do what you're supposed to do and keeping the law, statutes, and commandments, and the Lord is going to reward you. He already said that he's going to reward the other nation to give them double for the iniquities that they've done against the children of Israel. How much more so for those that choose to do righteous in faith? Keep reading.
All right. Verse 13. And he will love thee and bless thee and multiply thee. He will also bless the fruit of thy womb and the fruit of thy land, thy corn and thy wine and thy oil, the increase of thy kind and the flocks of thy sheep and the land which he sware unto thy fathers to give thee.
Right. Verse 14.
Verse 14. Thou shalt be blessed above blessed above,
hand in hand,
above all people. There shall not be male nor or female barren among you or among your cattle.
All we gotta do is just do what's right. Bro, Baraiah in DPs is a living testament to what this scripture is saying. Like, I remember when that brother just had 2 cows and 1 bull. They growing in number, so much so that we had to kill some off, right? We killed 2 bulls so that we could eat for the cookout. He called us and said, "Hey, Salakia, sir, these roosters getting out of hand. We're gonna have to cull some of them. We got too many roosters out here." Now we got 17 birds in a deep freezer to feed brothers and sisters, and a whole new set of eggs. We already had eggs from the previous delivery and shipment. Now we got new eggs for brothers and sisters to take. All it takes is for you to do the right thing and be righteous in all things. And the Lord is going to bless you abundantly. The scripture says, try me in this and see that I will not open up a window in heaven that ye may not have room enough to receive it. Yeah. And the thing that you got to understand, just like Baraiah out there in Groverton and Deep East understands, he's not blessing you for yourself. He's blessing you to bless others. There's no way that he would be able to eat 17 whole birds. So I'm spreading the wealth with the nation. It's the chickens laying so many eggs, I can't even keep up with them. Get these eggs out of here. They're becoming more of a vexation than a blessing.
Right.
The Lord will give you the seed to feed your family.
Right.
But you got to plant it, and it starts with keeping the laws, statutes, and commandments. That's our declaration of independence.
Right.
You understand? The only Independence Day is the day of the Lord. You understand? And that comes with you cutting yourself off from the other nations. You want to learn how to be independent? Read the Declaration of Independence, and then read your laws, statutes, and commandments. They took it from you, almost word for word. But they just said that they wanted to be equal. But the Lord said that you will not be. It was so nice, he didn't put it in 3 different spots. He said that he separated you from all the nations upon the face of the earth to be holy upon to himself. He said, if you keep the law, statutes, and commandments in 2 different places, that he going to set you up on high above all nations upon the face of the earth. Then he said in Amos 3:1 that only you have I known of all the families on the face of the earth. And for that I judge you. It's not hard to tell that we're prisoners of war, because Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans are the only people that don't know where they come from in their native tongue of their ancestors. Everybody else can trace their lineage back to antiquity, but for some reason, they don't know the origins of the Native Americans. They don't know the origins of the Aztecs, the Olmecs, the Taínos, you know what I'm saying, the Seminoles, the Choctaw, the Chickasaw, the Blackfoot, the Sioux. You know what I'm saying? They don't know our origins. You know what I'm saying? So the only way that we win is if we separate. And it starts mentally, and then it happens financially. That's the only power that we have now. The scripture says that the kingdom of heaven does not come with observation saying, lo, look here, or lo, look over here, that the kingdom of heaven is at hand. No, it says the kingdom of heaven is inside of you. So if you ever think to yourself and say, well, I'm only one person, Christ was too. Moses was too. Samuel was too. Elijah was too. Samson was too. Gideon was too. You understand? It's always been on one. Abraham left his father's house. Abraham wasn't no meager person. He came from wealth. He left his father's house to follow God. Joseph was one man too. And he went through hell in order to save his family. So don't just say, well, I'm just one person. All it takes is one little small snowball, and you roll it down the hill, and it makes a huge snow boulder. And it becomes a wrecking ball going through a village, through a town, and it'll cause an avalanche. All it takes is us to be on sync, and we'll take down the walls of Jericho. And the Lord will give us the city. But we got to be on code. All right. Let me make sure there ain't any other more questions in the chat. All right. Anybody else got any questions before we get up out of here? All right. Let me go ahead and bring the prayers on the screen. Boom. All right. With that, we're gonna say Amajium, which means to stand. You said what? Oh yeah, let's do the security announcement, Slocky. Pass class over to the priest and officer Sapar. Sapar, come do the security announcement, Slocky. One of y'all, can you turn the camera for him? Amajium.
Is I.S.U.P.K
There you
security
go.
announcements. We are the I.S.U.P.K, started out of 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York. Root for new brother and sister. When a new brother or sister come into the school, they are off limits for 6 months. They are to be saluted only. They are here to share themselves of the world. If they need transportation, their teacher will arrange it. After 6 months, if a brother or sister has an interest in a particular person, he or she must get permission from the head to speak to a brother or sister. There is another 6 months in which the brother and sister will court each other. After this 6-month period, the brother and sister will get permission from the head to marry. Tithes, which is a commandment, according to the book of Numbers, chapter 18, verse 21, and the book of Malachi, chapter 3, verses 8 through 10, means 10th in the Hebrew, my Yashara. Ma'ashara, it's like it. 10% of every penny of any increase the Lord gives you, give to the treasury department or teacher. Priest fund, free will offering for priests, not mandatory, whatever amount you would like. Upcoming holy convocations. The next upcoming high holy day is the memorial blowing of trumpets. It's the first day of the 7th month. It will be held on Friday, September 11th, 2026, according to the book of Leviticus, chapter 23, verses 24 through 28. Say, if anybody wants to become a trooper in the school, start wearing all black, boots, shirt, pants, headband, or scarf. And this concludes the security announcements.
All right, turn the camera back. All right, and with that, we're going to say Amajium, which means to stand. We're going to say Sar, which means to turn and face the east. We're going to do the Lord's Prayer first in Hebrew, then in English. Repeat after me. Abanawa, Shabbat Shemaya, Kodash, Hayah, Shemka, Yahweh, Malak with Ka, Taba'ah, Ratazayaka, Hayah, Aisha, Ba'aratazah, Kawah, Hayah, Bashemaya, Nathan Lanaw, Lacham, Kal, Yawam, Wasalak Nawa, Kabawak Nawa, Kasalak Nawa, Kabawak Nawa, Wala'ah, Tabian Ayanawa, Banasaya 1, Abal, Kabashaya Nawa, Mayan, Rai, Kaya, Laka, Hamalakwa, Wahala, Wahata Para, La'awalamyam, Aman. In English, our Father, which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Yahweh, thy kingdom come, thy will be done in earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our debts as we forgive our debtors, and lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, and the power, and the glory, forever. So be it. Sar, turn and face the front. Give a courtesy salute to the brothers and to the sisters. Be the visual by the Shabbat. Majid, Rock, Yahweh, Shimmy, Al-Shah, Brakatah, Yadamatah, Sar, turn and face the sister. Be the visual by the Shabbat. Majid, Rock, Yahweh, Shemar, Thah, Shimmy, Al-Shah, Yadamatah, dismiss.